What's up guys, this is Chris here, and today we're going to be talking about the Adams Arms P2 rifle. Now, the Adams Arms P2 is an interesting gun that we've actually taken out a few times now. My wife has shot the majority of this. I've just kind of handled it just because I have tinnitus issues, but she's a really good AR shooter. We were looking for a new AR anyway, so we figured she could review this for you guys, and you can get kind of the female perspective, but she's a good shot. So this gun is a 16-inch barreled 7-pound 5.56 rifle. As you can see here, it has a 16-inch government profile barrel. We have an A2 flash hider. We have included flip-up sights, and then we have an M-LOK rail, which is about 15 inches. The gun comes in a whole bunch of different colors, at least that I'm aware of: gray, green, and black. It comes with a whole overmolded grip and ambi safety. It comes with a rise armament trigger, which we'll talk about here in a minute, and we actually put the vert grip and the light on it because that's how my wife likes to run things, and we are running the Trijicon MRO in a ScalarWorks mount. Now, this gun is made in America and it has a lifetime warranty, and it is running the Adams Arms piston system. So if you aren't familiar, that's one of the things they're known for. This is not a direct impingement gun in the same way that your standard AR works, where it takes gas out of it and it just shoots it into the bolt carrier, pushes the bolt carrier back, and it runs that way. I'm aware that direct impingement is sort of a piston system. You don't need to comment with that. But this piston system is a true piston system, sort of similar to the HK 416 or the SIG Spear. So it limits the amount of stuff that you have inside your gun. Basically, all this magic does is sort of make this a little less dirty, so you can clean it a little bit less, lube it a little bit less, and it should run a little bit longer. It also will help it with suppressing the gun. Piston guns generally are better suppressed, just because you have less shit shooting back at your face. And then it usually, the trade-off to that usually makes it a little bit heavier in the front. However, this one is not very heavy in the front. Like the HK 416, it's kind of like holding up the world when you shoulder it out, whereas this one, you can hold it pretty much all day. It's very similar to the same weight as an AR, which I really do like. Now, the gun looks good. We have about 300 rounds through it or so far, and it is running very well. You didn't have any malfunctions, did you?
None.
None. And you were running standard 55 grain Federal, I believe, right? Through Lancer mags and through P mags.
Yep.
Yeah, so it all ran perfectly fine as far as that goes, and the only issue we really saw with the gun is going to be with the rail system, and we'll just get that out of the way right away. These were not Loctited from the factory. This was sent to us by Adams Arms, so that won't change the review at all, and these screws backed out on us, and we had to tighten them. That's basically it. No real problem there, and you'd have to shoot a whole bunch of rounds for this to have any failures as far as the rail system goes, but that would be an issue if you were running like a maul or a laser device or something like that. You probably would have lost zero. However, a little bit of red Loctite will fix that with no issues. Now, the gun itself is about 7 pounds, which is about the same size as many duty ARs, and for the price of around $1,500, I think you do get a really good gun. Solid bolt carrier group made of quality materials. The rail itself is very strong. The color is pretty cool. You get a Cerakote green out of the factory. You get ambi controls if you're left or right-handed, which is nice. And you get this pretty cool stock, which I've never played around with the Chris stock before, but it does work really well. The only thing I would say is it's a little bit wobbly, but the face of the buttstock feels really good, and the adjustments feel really good, and that's all it needs to do anyway. Included iron sights if you don't want to run the dot, but I would suggest running the dot because dots are easy. I mean, honestly, on a rifle, if you're not running a dot, I don't know what you're doing these days. If you're not running a dot, you should run a magnified optic. It's 2023. Let's get with it. The gun itself works really well. The accessories didn't rattle off in any way, and overall, I would consider it a pretty solid rifle for the amount of time that we have into it so far. 300 rounds is not a lot. It's not our normal 1,000-round review process, but with my ear, that's kind of the best we could do right now. That being said, this is a little bit of a hybrid video because my wife did shoot the gun after all, and we're going to get her impressions.
This thing is so fun, but I love ARs. an AR girl. I love ARs. They're so simple, they're so easy. They're easy to shoot, they're easy to operate once you figure out the manual of arms. I just love a good AR, and this one has been doing really well, no malfunction so far. Well, can't get little ones. So far, this thing is amazing. We've shot tons of rounds through it. I think I've shot 300 rounds on my own, and there's been no malfunctions. It's been absolutely wonderful. And I have to say, it's really amazing. And for $1,500, it looks beautiful, it is cool, it's made in America, and I love it so far.
I think it's certainly worth the money. There's a lot of things on it that I like. I like the ambi charging handle. I like the fact that it used quality materials and quality components. I didn't love the Hogue grip, but that's a personal preference. I really like the fact that you use anti-walk pins in the trigger, because a lot of times in review guns we have those things walk out and that won't happen to you. Things like stake castle nuts and stuff like that you will find on higher quality ARs like this, and that way you just won't have stuff wobble off over time. I would have preferred they would have Loctited the screws in the rail, but that's literally the only problem we found, and that's pretty good considering modern manufacturing post 2020. A lot of the guns we've had have been pretty rough. So good on Adams Arms for sending us a decent gun. We appreciate that. If you're in the market for a piston gun, if you want a dedicated suppressed gun, I think this is a really good way to go. Are there cheaper guns like DI guns, like the IWI and stuff like that you can get for $700 that'll work and do the same thing? For sure. You just won't get all the cool stuff that this gun gives you. So it's a trade-off either way. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please support your local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.